this video we're going to demonstrate how to clean leather. This is a top coated leather. We're going to be using the Aussie Furniture Care 5-minute leather cleaner, and then we'll be following up with the Aussie Furniture Care leather cleaner, leather conditioner and moisturiser. You'll need some cloth, one dry cloth and a damp cloth, and a brush for the really dirty areas. In most situations where someone's showing you how to do leather cleaning, no one usually uses a brush. They always use just a cloth. You'll get a far more effective clean if the lounge is really dirty, because when we brush it, it gets into all the little grooves and stuff and gets all the dirt right out of those areas. So we'll get started. Okay, so what we need to do here is we get the cleaner and just spray it over the area, directly on the area, and then get a cloth and start rubbing it. Now this is coming up pretty good, but what we'll actually do now is just get the brush, spray a little bit onto the brush, and do a light rub, getting into all the grooves. And so it'll spread out fairly well. You don't need industrial quantities, just a light spray. Just do a section at a time, don't go overboard. Now once you've done that evenly over all the surface, you've got a pretty even clean in one section of the lounge. You just need to come back with a damp cloth. Cloth and just wipe off the excess. Once you've done that, you can see that all the area, once it's nice and clean, then just leave it until it dries naturally, and then we will apply the conditioner. Okay, we're just going to continue on with this. I'm just going to do half of the cushion here so that you can actually see, while we're waiting for this other bit to dry, we'll just do this section of the cushion. Now this is coming up okay without the brush. We'll need the brush in these. Brush in the front section here where it's front here. Now this product is a natural product. It's got no petrochemicals in it. So it's fairly safe to use on virtually all leather finishes except nubuck and suede. Wipe the excess fluid off there with the damp cloth, and we'll wait for this part to dry as well. You can see the difference in the two in the finish. The brush we use too is fairly soft. It's not a hard bristle brush, so it's quite soft. You can also use something like a nail brush for cleaning your nails. That's a good consistency and it's not too harsh on the leather. And we'll just wait for it to dry and then we'll apply some conditioner. so what we've got there. Spread it out evenly. Once again, once you do this, we've got to let this dry before you buff it off. So once it's dry, you rough it off, it'll come up with just a nice light sheen on it. Okay, so that's all been spread on nice and evenly. Nice now. So we'll pause the video and we'll come back to that as soon as it's dry and we'll give it a buff off. Okay, so now that the surface is dry, the conditioning's all dried off now, so it's time to just go over and give this all a buff off. So just give a nice clean cloth, soft cloth, and go over and give it a buff up. It'll only produce a light shine, it's not a high gloss shine, but you will see the difference and it'll feel nice and smooth. Now when you do this, when you use any of these products, you want to make sure that you test it in an inconspicuous area on the leather, just to make sure that you haven't got any dye transfer or removal of the top coat. You will see a big difference if it is really dirty. Sometimes you will get a little bit of colour coming off, but that's just from wear and tear, and that should be okay. But always keep a very close watch on that so that you don't remove colour on top. Okay, so that's the end of that video. That's all to show you on this one.